So this is a 300 gallon tank, and we didn't realize how big it was. From here to here is 33 inches. It's 6 feet wide, and I don't even know how high. But
It's only really about 25 inches tall.
and we talking about putting this in the living room, so yeah. There we go. Welcome back, my YouTube family. In today's video, we will be going over the process of how we set up this 300 gallon tank in the den. But before we do that, we have to move the 75 gallon tank into the living room. Now, I do have a video posted of doing water changes using these pumps, and it makes very quick work out of water changes. So if you're interested in that, be sure to check out that video as well. So this is what we're going to do, right? Sharon, you right here. Remy, you over here. Me and him, we're going to tilt it over. Are you ready? And y'all don't grab the corner. All right, here we go. We'll pick it up. 1, 2, 3. Now, stretch yours up.
Go away, brown, red, right?
No, Remy, go this way. Let me do it. We had. You lead the way. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3.
Wait a minute.
Right there.
Come on, hurry up and get down here.
That's it. That's the sliding part, though. Although I was trying to stay confident, lead the pack, I can tell you that this thing was extremely heavy. It had my knees buckling. I believe it's about 300 pounds altogether, but as you can see, we managed. There you go. Right there. Now we're just going to slide it in. What are you thinking? I've searched the web on Sump systems, which I never really heard of prior to this, and come up with a pretty simple design that's going to incorporate foam and some biological filtration, 3 heaters, couple of return pumps, but right now what I'm doing is pretty much pre-cutting everything so I can measure my baffles and where they're going to go in the sump. I'm just using the painter's tape here to hold the baffles in place in preparation for me to silicone. I'll just show you that process and just let it play so you all can see exactly what I did. Those white pieces of wood are 1x2s, so it gives me 1.5 inches in between baffles. I should have followed that for underneath as well, but I got 1-inch rips to go under, which turned out to be too narrow of a path. You can see here the under and over design of the baffles. And here I am cutting deflectors, ceiling grid deflector, to raise up the media off the glass at the bottom. My thought here was to use these air strips to make the K1 circulate as I had saw on the internet, but it was a little too long, so I DIY'd some right angle connectors, expanded out the holes, and was able to get that hose over the connector, and allowed me to not have a crimped end at the end of that air strip. And speaking of the K1 media, here it is in all of its glory. I will tell you that this gave me complete hell. I finally got it working the way it's supposed to be working, but this is supposed to be the gold standard in biological filtration, so I just would not give up. This is the complete setup with the K1. You can see the heaters in this chamber, and then the return section, which again turned out to be a little too small, well, a lot too small. I have a whole second sump pump made out of the same 60-gallon of version 2 that works so much better than this particular version, and I'll be posting that video here on the internet. Actually, it is God sent. As you can see, this plexiglass is already flexing. Do not use plexiglass, period. Do not use plexiglass. It will fail. This is not the way it's supposed to be flowing. That water is not supposed to be going over. It's supposed to be going under. And so I'm washing out some lava rocks to make a bed to raise that media off the floor. And now you can see it's actually working the way it's supposed to be working. Again, this is my first time ever dealing with any type of sump system in an aquarium. I had no idea that there were holes in the bottom of this aquarium when I bought it. so I got these bulkheads and I am making it happen. Now, I have a lot of experience in plumbing, so I'm not a plumber by trade, but I do have a lot of plumbing experience. So the plumbing of this particular tank wasn't that big of a deal for me, but I can imagine how it would be overwhelming for the average Joe. I mean, it was a lot. I'll be honest with you. When I filled up the weirs, the water was all over the place. We flooded this house out probably about at least 7 or 8 times setting up this tank, and it was a bear. I mean, it was a bear altogether. But I just would not give up. I wanted to, but I would not give up. I had no idea that these things even existed. The overflow weirs is where the piping is behind, kind of like hides the pipe, but it also serves another function which separates the main tank from the plumbing of the overflows, because you just can't have that water mixed with each other, and it has to be sealed against the tank. So I wanted to make sure I got all the old silicone off, make sure I cleaned these things up real good prior to installing them in the main display tank. Unbeknownst to me, these things don't fit. Yeah, apparently these weirs came from a different display tank. The person I bought it from wasn't going to use a sump system at all. So hey, this is a DIY channel, so I made quick work of cutting these down. Now I need to put them in place, and I am going to use again these 1x2s to brace these so they won't be moving around when I get ready to silicone them. In retrospect, I probably should have used black silicone, but this worked out fine. And I did have a leak or two after testing, but I just, drained everything, dried it back out, and buttoned up where the silicone didn't necessarily do what it needed to do the first time. Ready?
Yep. So I'm picking it up.
I don't have any leverage. Okay, now we don't want to drop it on that end, okay?
Okay.
Okay, you scooch it in and then lift it down slowly.
Okay.
Okay. You want me to do it? But you got it.
Okay, you're gonna have to do it because once I go in,
Okay.
I can't see.
All right. Can you lift that up so I can get my finger out from under there? 1, 2, 3. Okay, got it. I'm using clear primer everywhere and also 1-inch pipe. I'm also using these unions everywhere I possibly can because it makes for easy adjustments when you have to turn a pipe a certain type of way. This is regular Schedule 40 pipe. I was going to use Schedule 80, but after I started looking at the cost of that, I was like, no sir, no ma'am. So we're using regular white Schedule 40 piping. And although I'm not showing it in this video, I did pre-cut everything, checked it, and then checked it again before I glued any pipe together. This video is a general overview video. I don't really dive deep into anything, but I will be uploading more subsequent videos in the future that's going to show detailed installation of each one of these particular segments. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, then make sure you subscribe and then hit that bell so you can be notified when I do upload those particular videos. And this part here really had me nervous because if you mess this up and it don't seat right, or if it leaks, whatever the case is, then you pretty much will have to redo this whole section. So yeah, it worked out. Everything fit great, and we're on to the next part. Here I'm plumbing the return line. I'm using this 1-inch barb fitting here to go to a 1-inch flex hose that will be connected by a clamp. And then I'm also using ball valves for the supply line and the drain lines. And I'm going to put a gate valve on one of the return lines so I can finally adjust the flow. However, I did replace the main drain line ball valve. I replaced that with a gate valve, which gave me way more fine tuning to the system. Here I'm once again checking the weir to make sure that there's no leaks from the main display tank into the weir, and also to make sure that there's no leakage coming from the bulkheads from the main display down into the sump. My morning has been filled with cleaning this nasty sand, blasting sand. I'm using that for the substrate in the tank, and 9 bags of black diamond blasting sand gave us about 2.5 inches of substrate, which is absolutely perfect for this particular scenario. Now it's time to go to our local fish shop and pick out some driftwood and see what type of aquascaping we can do.
Now I'm thinking if you're adding your elevations, you got like a cascading corner. You can play up, high, down, or you know what I'm saying? Like you can do.
That's what I'm.
And then over there you have you got a little section just, and then your grainer. But I mean, I'm just.
Nah, I'm with you. Like one of these corners got to be a little bare right now, so you can get your formation. And
I love this. Like this looks like all part of each other. It's not separate. It's like one piece. I love that. I connected the lights using hooks, and relatively cheap light I got off of Amazon. I bought 2 at first, it wasn't enough. I bought 2 more, then I ended up getting 2 more of a different brand but very similar. I can tell you that a proper lighting setup is super expensive, but we was able to DIY this for relatively cheap. As I was filling up the tank, I noticed the driftwood was rising, so I attached brick to the bottom of it. That didn't necessarily work the first time, but I went back to Lowe's and I got heavier bricks and I put more anchor points, and then I was able to get the driftwood to sit at the bottom really nice. I know there's a whole lot of people out there that said that you should not cycle your tank with live fish. I did put a couple of bottles of Quick Start in here. I waited 2 weeks. We went and got the goldfish feeders for 29 cents a piece and allowed them to do what they needed to do. The K1 media was not necessarily spinning right. The tank is off at this particular point, but it did clear the tank up pretty good. This is looking pretty good. I was kind of scared about the black diamond blasting sand being so cloudy, but I tried to do the best I could by cleaning it. Under here is the full tank setup. As you can see, I got the gate valve here on the supply line. And this is my solution for the K1 media. Watch this. Okay, we have this tank cycled for about a month now. We had goldfish in there to do it, and then now we got angelfish, some rainbow fish, and some corridors. Sump pump is working great. Got everything hooked up. Tank is running great. I can say all in all that this tank was way more than what I thought I was getting myself into. Was it worth it? Absolutely. And I appreciate you all sticking around for this video. If you want to know anything more about these systems or anything about this build, then leave a comment in the comment section. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, then you make sure you subscribe and hit that bell if you want to be notified when I upload new videos. As always, I appreciate you all watching, and until the next time. Hey.